Welcome to the EOB podcast, where we discuss the weekend's box office and the new openings this week. I'm Ben No, and joining me is Sen Duong. So let's begin. Hey Sen, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. All
Okay.
right, let's. Should we start with American Sniper or The Boy Next Door?
Well, let's go down the list.
All right,
American Sniper
64 million. Holy cow!
Coming in number one again. The most surprising thing, only a 28% drop off from last week.
Yeah, especially when it has such a huge record-breaking January opening.
It crossed 200 million domestic already.
I mean, you don't see that often. I mean, one of the last few movies that was referenced in most of these box office reports was Avatar, which had a huge opening and then didn't experience much of a drop-off on the second weekend. Because most of these films that have such a large opening usually experience like a 50%, 60% drop off the next weekend.
Yeah.
But this one was like 28%. Wow.
Yeah, and you're talking about a movie that doesn't have that is not like a big franchise.
Yeah, it's not a superhero movie. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's not a superhero movie. It's not even a fantasy movie. It doesn't have the special effects that you would normally associate with these kind of movies.
Yeah, in other words, it's not the Avengers.
No.
It's not Transformers. And it's not the Hobbit.
Yeah.
It's doing that kind of business.
Yeah. There's no Michael Bay. There's no Steven Spielberg. There's no Peter Jackson.
Right.
The names you normally associate with these kind of movies.
Right. Yep.
And it's second weekend. Not that much drop off. I mean, that's big.
Yeah. I wonder if the second weekend by itself was a record. I mean, like just 64 million in January, right along had the largest opening in January ever, previous largest opening at 41.4 million, and this is a second weekend and it's 64 million. No, this is crazy.
Yeah, I think let's see. I think Box Office Mojo has it like the 8th all-time second weekend.
Oh, 8th all-time second weekend. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like in January. Even if it's not the second weekend, 64.4 million is a record in January.
And it's on track to become the highest grossing movie in 2014.
Right.
It will probably beat out Mockingjay.
Definitely now. Especially with the Oscars coming up. Jeez. Mm-hmm. I guess at this point the Oscars probably doesn't matter.
No.
I mean, the word of mouth has been so good.
No, I mean it has a huge opening, not a lot drop off the second weekend. I mean, I expect the next weekend it's going to be doing good as well.
The only thing that it's up against is the Super Bowl is this weekend, right?
I'm not sure. I don't follow the Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay. All right. I think it is. I think the Super Bowl is this weekend. Let me see. Super Bowl.
But even if the Super Bowl is there, I mean, I would expect it to be the number one movie again.
Oh, yeah. It'll still be number one.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll hold up as well. Yeah, it looks like, yep, the Super Bowl is this weekend.
Oh, okay. That might be something.
Yeah, Sunday, you'll probably experience a slight drop on Sunday, but still, it's going to be...
Yeah, there's still Friday and Saturday, so it's going to do well.
Should we move on to The Boy Next Door?
Yeah, The Boy Next Door coming in number 2, 15 million.
Yeah, which is more of a surprise to me than American Sniper, because I was thinking 4 or 5 million, right?
Yeah, you were saying 5. Yep.
Yeah, I was saying 5 million. What's even shocking is they made this film for just 4 million.
Wow.
That's according to Box Office Mojo, that's amazing. It's already made almost 4 times its budget.
Well, I told you about Jennifer Lopez hotness and Ryan Guzman's abs, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Both of them.
I told you to never underestimate Guzman's abs.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. All right.
Right.
I did check out his abs, though. I did.
Right. It adds a couple more million to the box office figure.
Well, in terms of my prediction, it added 10 million to the box office.
Okay.
Well, let's just give him 5 million and give Jennifer Lopez the other 5 million.
Right.
For her hotness.
Right. But anyway, it's kind of surprising because it doesn't look that great, the trailer.
Right.
But it managed to make 15 million, which is like above our projections.
Yeah, way above my
Yeah.
projection and a little above yours. You were kind of on the mark. You were like 10 million.
Yeah, I was saying 10.
It proves that Jennifer Lopez, as long as she sticks to the two genres that she does really well in, romantic comedies and these thrillers.
Yeah, Made in Manhattan and well, like you say, thrillers like this, except unless it's paired with Jason Statham.
Yeah. Jason Statham's VOD spiral, drag her down.
Right.
She's back in a genre that she usually does well in, and it looks like people are still, like you said, she's still hot in more ways than one. Like she's still a draw. If you put her in the right movies.
This is when she's in the vulnerable woman in peril role, right?
Yeah, she's vulnerable, but she also has that toughness in her to get her out of it.
Right, she's still Jenny from the block. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Before we're going low because like she hasn't appeared in a movie in a while, and we don't really know her box office potential.
The most recent one was with Jason Statham, and we're like, whoa. Right. Now she's back in a thriller. And and it performed pretty well. And I guess Universal got kind of lucky because her career's on the downside, and they were probably, since they were able to make this movie for $4 million, they probably only gave her like $1 million or $2 max, right?
No. Well, hold on. I mean, she's one of the producer of the movie, so she probably took less so she could have more the
back end. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Jason Blum is one of the producers as well. The horror maestro.
Oh, okay, all right.
The Paranormal Activities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah, but since this is not a horror movie, his name is not mentioned as much.
Right. Again, it's one of these things where sometimes when your career's on the going down the tubes, you gotta make things happen yourself, and looks like Jennifer Lopez did that.
I think the important thing is that this movie is made for, like you say, $4 million.
Yeah.
So anything above that is good.
Yeah.
It's not like $100 million where like when you make $15 million, it's a bomb and you derail your career. And no one's taking your calls anymore.
Yep, and this one, geez, it's already made almost 4 times its budget. So
I expect the second weekend to be not so good, but hey,
but still
a success already.
Yeah, it's great when you can have it opens in a weekend and it's already a success.
Right, this is more of a statement by Jennifer Lopez saying that, hey, I'm back.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. J-Lo is back, not Jennifer Lopez.
Back. Oh, J-Lo. Okay. All right.
Yeah, J-Lo.
All right. Let's move on to number 3.
Paddington. 35% drop off. Not bad. It's a decent hold. 12.4 million. 40 million total so far domestically.
Yeah. I heard that it's on track to total out around 70 million.
Which is pretty good considering its budget is only around 60. So not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, we were talking in the last podcast about whether or not we'll see more Paddington. So, assuming that they get there to 70, you think there will be?
I'm not sure because it's not with a $60 million budget. 70 is still kind of just right on the mark. I'm not. It depends on the UK. I guess if it does really well in the UK, then they'll probably go ahead with one. But still, unless it does really well on video too. Yeah,
I'm thinking that this is more of a first step, like the brand building. Like hey, this is Paddington. This is the bear. If you like it, we'll make more kind of thing.
You know what? I'm just looking at this foreign box office. It already made 130 million overseas. So you know what? There will be a sequel. Okay, so in the UK, remember, I was saying how if it does go in the UK, it made 52 million in the UK already, and that doesn't include this week. So wow. Okay, you know what? Forget it. There'll be a sequel. Worldwide is already at 170. We'll see more Paddington.
Yes, that's what I've been saying. We'll see more Paddington.
You're right on that one.
Okay. All right, let's move on to number 4.
Sure, The Wedding Ringer. 44% dropout, which is actually not bad for a movie targeting the African American audience, because these movies tend to be very front loaded.
Yep. It made 11.6 million over the weekend, so which is pretty good still.
Yeah. And 40 million total with a budget of 23 million, so it's already almost double its budget. So it's doing pretty well. It's another hit for Kevin Hart and another punch in the face to Scott Rudin.
Right, who said that Kevin Hart is a no-talent hack who's famous only through social media.
Right, yeah.
Okay. What does Scott Rudin know?
Yeah, what does he know? Even though he's in the industry for forever, he's a great judge of talent, isn't he?
He is exactly.
You guys all suck. Maybe when he says someone's a no talent hack is in his scale, since everyone suck. Marginally talented is actually really talented.
Okay, so he's taking the opposite of what he said.
Well, in his scale, you have to grade things in the scale with Scott Rudin, maybe, because everyone sucks to him. If you're above the level of suckiness, like marginally talented is not completely suck. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So marginally talented means there is some talent, which in his grading scale is actually pretty high.
Right. I guess if you're not, like opening your movie to $100 million, then you suck.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. The Wedding Ringer coming in number 4, 11.6 million. 44% drop off in the second weekend. Still pretty good, doing decent. Okay. And let's move on to number 5.
Taken 3. 7.6 million. Almost 50% drop off. 76 million total, with a budget of 48 million. It's a successful movie, but I think if you compare it to the previous 2 films, it's kind of disappointing because it will have trouble getting up to 100 million, which the previous 2 exceeded easily.
Yeah, I think there's still life within the Taken franchises. Is that I think people the producers have trouble coming out. Okay, where do we go from here? The kidnap angle is overdone. In the second movie, they kind of reverse it, right? Okay, like Liam Neeson is tied up, and then he has to depend on his daughter, to get him out of the bind.
Right.
Right. And then the third movie, they kill. Well, spoiler. They kill off his wife, and he's on the run. I mean, he's the one that's being hunted instead of him hunting.
The other people, right?
Yeah,
the kidnappers.
He has the table turned on him.
Right.
So, really, where are you going from here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Worldwide, it's already made 209 million. At a budget of only 48 million, it's already hugely profitable.
Yes.
If they feel like it, they might still crank out a Taken 4.
Oh, I think they can, but I think for number 4, I think they should just return to the formula. It's just like him being a badass, taking down whoever is causing trouble. Because that's what people want to see: Liam Neeson kicking ass.
Right. But the only thing is, it gets pretty silly soon, though. I mean, they're like, okay, they kidnap his daughter, then they kidnap him, then the tables are turned on him. If they do Taken 4, they would probably just have the angle of him being a badass and taking down bad guys. They probably can't go with the kidnapping scenario anymore because then it gets silly.
Right, you know where they're going with this, right? It'll be like Rocky 4. This to be super powered Russian guy.
Oh, right.
Where he just needs to get need to power up.
Right. And then in the end, he's gonna be like, "Hey, we're all friends."
Right.
If you can change, I can change. If I can change, everyone can change.
Right. Okay. But hey, that's where they're gonna take this, right? That's where they have like this super foe, right? There's gonna be this nemesis
in that case, they might as
him, right? I mean, it's gonna be like a cat and mouse game, like chase. Like what was that movie with Antonio Banderas and Sylvester Stallone? Assassins or something like that.
Assassin, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, where it's just like cat and mouse game between two super spies.
By the way, that film bombed, so.
Okay.
But I see what you're getting.
Right.
I see what you're getting. Although, yeah, I think I'm not sure they should do a third one because it's already kind of a fourth one. It's already becoming kind of a joke. I guess it's best that they just move on. Take the same formula but just do a different movie.
Which is Run All Night.
Yeah, Run All Night. Yeah, right.
I expect them to do another one, really, because it's still strong. The brand's still strong. Maybe not the next year or two, but it's coming.
I think once Liam Neeson gets a couple bombs in a row, then there'll be a Tekken 4.
Okay. Look. Seriously, 20 million. He can't turn down 20 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You don't turn down 20 million.
And wow, the Tekken 2 actually made almost 400 million worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
The first Tekken made a little over 200 million. Tekken 3 has already made 209 million. So it'll probably pass the first film, but it doesn't look like it's going to get to 400 million.
Well, still, it's pretty good. I mean,
still it's pretty good.
Like around 50 million. This is Liam Neeson's Rocky movies, right?
Yeah, right.
Or the Rambo movies. He'll come back to this one once, if he decides to turn down 20 million, right? He'll come back once, like you say, have a couple bombs in a row.
Yeah, or he'll take a break and let people get a breather for a while, and then once we decided that we missed the Tekken character, we'll see Tekken 4.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to number 6.
The Imitation Game. So they added 400 theaters. It made another 7 million.
Steady, just like last week.
Yeah, just like last week. And total domestically is already made 61 million. You know what? This thing's not slowing down at all. Mm-hmm. 7 million every week since it went wide. 100 million isn't fall off.
It's closing in. If it continues to perform at this level.
Right. They'll probably go to, this week they might expand it to, another 400 theaters eventually until it reaches 3,000 theaters. It has a good chance to get to 100 million now.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Right. Still might not get there, but
well, initially I say it probably won't, but who knows? Yeah. Who knows? If it keeps on performing like this,
right?
Keep on adding theaters. Like if you add more theaters, typically they drop off the preceding average, but they actually got a bump. And so that means it's continue to make more money, and they'll continue adding more theaters until that point where it doesn't.
Where it slows down. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Strange Magic.
Ooh, Strange Magic number 7.
Made 5.5 million this week. A bomb.
I'm not surprised that because George Lucas' name is attached to it. Let's see. You said that last week that it will make between 2 to 3 million, and I said about 5.
Yeah. So you're closer.
I'm closer. You were kind of low. I thought that Disney's marketing power would push it up that high.
Mm.
But still, it kind of met our expectation, which is like no one really wants to watch it, even though it's released in over 3,000 theaters. And,
we kind of expected to bomb, and it did.
This movie came out of nowhere. I haven't heard anything about this movie until now.
Me neither. Yeah, me neither.
And we caught the trailer and say, "Whoa, this is really strange." The art style from the characters.
It's strange,
the story,
but it's not magical. That's the thing.
Right,
it's strange, but not magical.
It's like, who is this movie made for?
Yeah.
If you're taking your kids to watch a movie, you would rather watch Paddington.
Yeah, which is more kid-friendly, more family-friendly, better reviewed, and overall better movie.
All right.
All right, should we move on to Selma?
Yes, Selma coming in number 8.
5.5 million.
It made a little bit less. Who knows? Maybe when the final figure comes in, it might actually come in ahead of Strange Magic.
Most probably. And it's made 40. About 38% drop off. Not bad. Total 40 million. 39 million at a budget of only 20 million. So I expected it to do better, but hey, when your budget is only 20 million and this movie looks like it'll eventually get to 50 million, it's not bad. Although it, compared to the other films in the past that targeted the African American audience and that dealt with history, those films have done a lot better. Like The Butler. So when you compare it to those films, it's kind of disappointing. But when you look at it as a film by itself, budgeted at only 20 million, and it's going to make 50 million, and and it got a couple Oscar nominations.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I mean, already it did way better than Fruitvale Station. That movie about the shooting of Oscar Grant at the one of the bar stations.
Yeah, but it's kind of different though, because that one's more of it's a limited release.
Well, for like 2 weekends, it was in over a little bit over 1,000 theaters.
Still, it's kind of a different comparison though, because that one, what's the name of the guy who was shot in?
Oscar Grant.
Yeah, he's not Martin Luther King, and that movie was made with a lower budget. It was, intended for the indie route. This one was made more with the expectation that it might do in this neighborhood of The Butler. But, overall, it's not disappointing. It's not great. I guess it's just decent, good.
You know what? I think this movie is performing up to my expectation. I think this is where it will perform like maybe a movie that's going to be between 50 to 60 million range. I think it might be a disappointment to the people who made it, who thought that this has more appeal.
Could be. I'm not sure. Could be.
Yeah, remember when we talked about Selma, I thought, it's one of those movies that is just there.
Yeah, exactly. Same here.
The interest level is not high.
Yeah, same here.
But for the people who made it, maybe that they're thinking that, hey, this could be big, but
yeah.
It's not.
Well, it's not big. It's just okay.
Yeah, it's just okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just right there. And
well, you said it's just there.
Yeah, and as a film, right, it's a good place to be. But if you want it to be more like a message movie, and that more people would turn out for it, because of its historical significance, then that might be a failure, right?
Yeah.
But as a film, it's not bad.
Yeah. Yep.
It's performance,
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Now the next film, Mortdecai.
Ooh, Mortdecai, number 9.
Yeah, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It's an outright bomb.
It is.
And
okay, why did it bomb?
Like you said last week, it is really just an excuse for all these American actors who practice the British accent. And I think maybe people are getting kind of tired of Johnny Depp's, dressing up, putting stuff into his face, and calling it a movie.
Right. Last week we had Blackhat.
Yeah.
This week we had Mortdecai.
Yeah. Yep.
The movie was made for a reported budget of 60 million. It made 4.
Yeah, 4 million, and it was horribly reviewed.
And it's not going to go up from here. It's only going to drop off.
On Rotten Tomatoes, 11%. Wow, it's not going to get to even 10.
Right.
So it's just an outright complete bomb, which means Pirates of the Caribbean 5 will be on the fast track. Which might be good or bad, depending. With these things, they're kind of uneven. Right. Here's the thing: what should Johnny Depp do for now? I mean, here he is with a string of big budget bombs. Should he go back to his indie roots, or do you think he's already experienced the A-list superstar treatment and he's never going back? What should Johnny Depp do? I think he should be wiser with his choice. I mean, he got his money already, right? Yeah. I mean, if people are willing to pay him, great, accept it and do the movie. If another producer comes to you, say, hey, you want to do another movie like Mortdecai, pay you 20 million. Sure, do it. Because I think he's at that level where it's kind of like Brad Pitt, right? He has the cachet, he can jump between movies. I mean, even though if he has a couple bombs, he can still rise up. He's flexible enough to do that. Well, although after Mortdecai, I don't think anyone's going to give him a $20 million paycheck. Except Disney for more Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, maybe one more. They'll probably have to see how the next one does. Because, he has Mortdecai is a $60 million bomb. Transcendence, another huge bomb. That movie, the budget for that was like 100 million. So that's another big, massive money loser. The Lone Ranger is three, massive money losers in a row. I mean,
right, because the Lone Ranger was it cost so much to make.
Yeah, cost like 200 something million to make.
Right.
So he lost hundreds of millions for these studios. I don't think those $20 million paychecks will be coming.
Well, no, I think it's not his fault though. I think it's the studio's fault. They want to make this this movie, and they want Johnny Depp to star in it.
Yeah, I wonder where he's gonna go from here.
So I think he's fine as long as he stays away from Tim Burton.
Stays away from Tim Burton.
Yeah.
No, he should get back to Tim Burton.
Well, let's stay away for a while, and because Tim Burton, he's kind of on a slump, in a slump.
Yeah, he is on a. Well, I guess you can say Dark Shadows is a slump too.
Yeah.
Disappointing, but not an outright, bomb.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't worry about Johnny Depp because like I say, he has this range of, he's Tom Hanks, he's at Tom Hanks level.
Yeah, he has indie cred if he's willing to go back to it.
Right. I mean, just a couple of good movies in a row, and he'll be back, right? And Mortdecai really is just another variation of his Pirates character, right?
Right. Which tells you that, hey, people are kind of tired of that.
Right. But seriously, the movie is not funny. That's its sin.
Yeah.
A comedy that's not funny. Okay, we don't have to worry about Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. We don't have to. He's already made his millions. So.
Yeah, right. But even like I don't think he will have trouble finding projects. If he wants to do them.
Although if he has a couple more of those bombs, he might.
Yeah, but he's one of these characters who I think he has enough goodwill that people want to watch it. It just that depends on what kind of movie. So that if he really wants to be back, he just has to be wiser with his choices.
Although you can say that with a lot of actors, though.
Oh, well, lots of actors are not Johnny Depp. They don't make 20 million or 15.
Alright, let's move on.
Okay, yeah, number 10, Into the Woods.
4 million, 121 million total, at a budget of only 50 million.
Yep.
Still going steady. Not much else we can say about it.
No, I think by all measure is a success. Yep.
Let me see, where's the Hobbit at? The Hobbit is at
11.
2.8 million, 250 million. So it could be the lowest. They'll probably keep it in theaters just so that it makes more than the Desolation of Smog, the second one. The second one made 258 million. They might keep this in theaters just to beat that.
It's still doing decent. It has a per theater average of 1,000. Yeah, 1,005. So it's doing okay. I'm sure they'd rather keep that in theater rather than Mortdecai or Blackhat.
Yeah.
They'll switch those out.
Let's see, Birdman actually had a slight bump from last week. It made almost 2 million this week. Total 31 million.
Yeah, so I think it might make 40 million, like you say.
Yeah, if they keep on adding theaters.
Yeah, well, about 2 million this weekend. I don't know, a couple more of those, and it'll get there.
Yeah, yep. Theory of Everything have a slight bump from last week too. 1.3 million this week. It's at 29 million total, and they're adding more theaters too.
Right. We'll see. Those two are almost neck to neck. Oh, let's talk about Blackhat, number 15. It dropped, almost
60%.
Yeah. From its abysmal opening.
Yeah. At a budget of 70 million, so.
Right. It's even a bigger loser than Mortdecai.
Yeah.
And in second weekend, it made 7 million total. Where do you think you'll end up making? Blackhat.
Oh, at 7 million right now.
Probably 12, 15.
I don't think 15. Maybe 10, 12, maybe max.
It looks like Blackhat and Mortdecai has the same path.
Yeah, yep.
So, Cake Open Limited. That Jennifer Aniston movie.
Oh yeah, and didn't do too well. 1 million. It made 1 million in about 500 theaters for per screen average of 2,000, which is pretty low for a limited release.
Well, I don't know. We'll see if word of mouth could carry this one because it is, I think, well reviewed, and so it might have legs. I think once they expand to more, I mean, it might move up a bit.
No, I mean, I don't think so because no, I mean when you release a film on limited release. And it only does 2,000 per screen, that's pretty low. That's bad word of mouth. Films that are in limited release tend to do 10,000 is decent, but 2,000 is like even wide releases don't do that poorly. So when you do that poorly on limited, it means there's no interest.
Whoa, the reviews are pretty bad too. I thought it would be better. It's like 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think the initial reviews were pretty good. I thought this is more like an award contender.
It might be one of those films where her performance is great, but the movie is not that great. Kind of like that Meryl Streep movie about not the Queen of England, but
the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
The Iron Lady.
Yeah, the Iron Lady.
Where she won an Oscar, Best Actress Oscar.
And then I think on Rotten Tomatoes it was only around 50%. But everyone said she's great. You know, Meryl Streep is great. You know, she did a great job, but the movie just isn't that good. So Cake might be one of those movies where everyone praised her performance, but the movie as a whole just isn't a very good movie.
Well, we're seeing like a huge drop off for Annie. In the 6th week, it's making less than 1 million now.
Yeah.
It's at 84. It might get to 85.
It's already considered a hit.
Foxcatcher, yeah, seems like that movie's not getting any traction.
Yeah, no.
It made almost 11 million so far. And it's going down. So
when we were thinking, hey, which one of these movies have potential to reach 40 million? You said Theory of Everything.
Yep.
I said Birdman. Looks like we're both kind of close. We were both about right, and because both of them are in that path.
Yes.
And even if they don't get to 40, they're pretty close.
Right. Yeah. Penguins of Madagascar.
81 million. Yeah.
DreamWorks movie released by Fox. DreamWorks lay off a couple hundred people because of a failure of a couple of movies.
Consecutive, I think it's three failures in a row. I didn't know they were cranking out 3 animated features per year, which is a lot.
Look, I mean, if it's successful, then it's okay, it's good. But the movies are not doing well. In terms of animation and technique, they're up there, world class. But when it comes to like the story and everything, it's I don't know who they're targeting. They seem like they're targeting tweens instead of kid and the general audience. They're more like they're targeting the older crowd. Seems like because I caught Mr. Peabody and Sherman over the weekend, and I can see why that movie failed.
Well, these films aren't outright bombs. Like Mr. Peabody, I think it's still made over 100 million. Films like Turbo and Penguins of Madagascar are worse because they barely make it to 80 million. But Sherman and Mr. Peabody, made over 100 million. I think that's okay. But maybe that's the thing. Maybe they should, instead of cranking out 3 movies a year, they're saying now that they're just going to do 2. Maybe having more people spending more time with the stories will make them better. Well,
even if they're making 2, they're just slowing down the rate of failure. They didn't solve the problem.
Taking out 30% of your production will probably put a bit more focus on, because now they're just going to focus on 1 sequel and 1 original film, which isn't bad. I mean,
I know, but if they're not solving the fundamental problem with the story, then they would be just only slowing down the death.
You're right. But what I'm saying is because they're only doing 2 movies a year instead of 3, there's a little bit more focus.
Well, you would hope.
Yeah. So I guess maybe with more focus, the stories will be better. And like Pixar only does what, 1 movie a year?
Yeah.
So eventually, you're right. They might have to pare it down to 1 movie a year. But the thing with DreamWorks is they had enough successes in the past that it makes sense to take. Who knows? Maybe they should alternate 1 sequel this year, original movie the next year.
Yeah, but they're kind of like a special effects house that do their own movies. I mean, if they're not cranking out movies, then they have a huge burn rate. They have employ all these animators, and they need these movies to stay afloat. But again, a couple bombs in a row will sink you.
Yeah,
and this is just them trying to slow that down. And the thing is, sometimes you don't make changes that quickly. It won't be that fast. It won't be a quick fix.
Yeah, nope. Maybe slowing it down to 2 movies instead of 3 isn't enough. Maybe here's the thing. They have shareholders to appease.
Yes.
So if they cut down to 1 movie a year, that might be too huge of a shock to their shareholders. So maybe that's why they're paring it down to 2. But I think of them like Pixar. Pixar, hugely successful animation company, and even they are not cranking out two movies a year. They concentrate on 1 a year.
Yeah, true. But they have the backing of Disney. They're now in Disney. So even without Pixar's production, Disney has other divisions.
Yeah, but I mean,
whereas Disney is a standalone. I mean, if they're not cranking out movies, they're not making money.
Yeah, that's true. But Pixar, even before they joined up with Disney, they were hugely successful, and they still only crank out 1 movie a year.
Yeah, I know, true, but I think it was because that they have Disney as a distributor.
Well, Disney was only a distributor. They just pay them a distribution fee. So Disney doesn't guarantee them like money. I mean, it's not like, hey, if you guys fail, we'll pull money into you. But I guess the difference with maybe you're right though, because the difference with DreamWorks is they have shareholders, and with shareholders you can't just say, hey, we want to limit our production of films to just 1 a year from 3. And that as a shareholder you would be like, holy crap, But like you said, even though they took the production down to 2 films a year, they still have to concentrate on the fundamental problems with these films.
Right. And, from what I read, the problem might be Jeffrey Katzenberg. So that's a hard problem to fix.
In their defense, Penguins of Madagascar, I thought was a decent film, and it was decently well reviewed, right? Like 70% or something.
Yeah, but the problem is it's really
not just that,
how much it is to make.
Well, not just that, and then there's Turbo, which is it's about the same thing. I saw it is decently well reviewed, and these are decent films, and these are decent stories. It's just the appeal of these films isn't as big. When you think about Turbo, a racing movie with snails. If you were to take your kids to a movie, you don't go, hey, let's take them to watch some snails race. And even Penguins of Madagascar, they're kind of like, these penguins were great as side characters in the Madagascar films. By themselves, it's not enough to hold a whole film together. And so even though these 2 films were solid films, they're not films with a wide enough appeal.
In Penguins of Madagascar's defense, right, it made like over 320 million worldwide. Even though it made more overseas, the problem is you get less overseas.
Yeah.
So, do we know what DreamWorks plans are? What movies they're making? They're making more, dragons?
Yeah, they're making more How to Train Your Dragons. They're making a sequel to The Croods. What other films are they making? There's Kung Fu Panda. They got a co-production going with China, which means they'll get a bigger cut of the box office. And
which is strange for an animated movie.
Yeah. And it works well because Kung Fu Panda actually did really well in China, spectacularly well in China. And in the US, it's on the downslide. China's box office has grown significantly since the last Panda film, so that's a huge deal for them. Because in the US, Kung Fu Panda 2 disappointed, but it made up for the difference in China, and now they're making it strictly for the Chinese audience.
Well, which is what the trend is anyway, right? Hollywood is making more movies for the China market.
Yeah.
And DreamWorks is just following that trend.
Yeah. I think with Transformers is that way too. I mean, it made 300 million in China, Transformers 4. which is even more than it made in the U.S. So Transformers 5 will definitely be targeted towards the Chinese market.
Which means more scenes in China.
Yeah,
right? More Chinese actors.
Who knows? You might even see Jackie Chan pop in.
Maybe, but how do we explain Blackhat? Wait, but it haven't opened overseas yet.
Yeah, haven't opened
in China yet.
It'll be funny if well, I don't think it's not the type of movie that'll do really well in China, but if it makes 100 million in China, then you're like, whoa.
Well, it'll do much better there than here.
Definitely, yeah. It can't do any worse.
No.
Yeah. All right, should we move on to next week's films?
All right, let's move on to next week's. What's coming out next week? We have Black or White, the Kevin Costner movie, in which he plays a grandfather who is taking care of a granddaughter who is half black.
Right.
And then he has to fight the
family. It's a custody battle,
yeah. It's a custody battle, like over who will take the kid. And then we have the Loft.
Erotic thriller.
Yeah, erotic thriller starring Carl Urban, also known as Judge Dredd. James Marsden, who we know is not a draw.
In other words, starring good-looking guys, a bunch of good-looking guys, who's going to have sex with a bunch of good-looking women.
Oh, right, and someone got killed, and they want to find out who did it and what's going on.
Yeah, but people aren't going to the movie for that.
Right, I mean, this movie was released overseas, I think last year or a year, last year. And,
it was?
Yeah, it was.
And it probably didn't do too well then, if they...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was released on video. I don't know, but it didn't display box office figures.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure it was released somewhere. And yeah, it's one of those movies that got delayed for one reason or another. And a typical January release where where studio dumped movies that they weren't expecting to do well.
Or that they don't know what to do with. They're like, we don't know where to put this. January.
And this is one of those movies.
Okay, and then what else? Project Almanac?
Project Almanac, time traveling movie.
Produced by Michael Bay.
Yeah, it's produced by Michael Bay, and it's kind of like in the vein of Butterfly Effect and Flatliners. A bunch of teenagers found a time machine and they travel back in time, and then there are consequences to their actions. They want to change the past. Yeah,
the Butterfly Effect was the film that I was thinking about exactly when I saw the trailer for it.
Right.
And Michael Bay's production company has been really successful. It's not just the films that he directed. Most of these films that he produced have also been done really well at the box office, which I'm kind of surprised at. I guess he's just really good in picking up commercial projects. Or he's really good at selling these films on a commercial level, even though everyone thinks he's a
I think he's really he knows what teenagers want. The Transformer movies, even though everybody seems to hate it, are huge successes.
Yeah.
Because he gives people what they want.
Yep, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all those horror remakes that he produced, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all those were huge hits.
Really fun popcorn movies, action-packed, has beautiful people.
Genre entertainment. They're all horror films, sci-fi, action. So he knows what appeals to your average film goer. What are your predictions?
Oh, predictions. Let's see. Because this one, Project Almanac, is going to be released in nearly 3,000 theaters, or a little bit below. Okay, so and it has a commercial appeal. I think I'm gonna go with maybe 20 to 25. 20
to 25. Oh, you're gonna go that high?
Yes.
Wow, I'm looking at Michael Bay as a producer. Look at this crazy filmography. Ouija was produced by Michael Bay, a surprise hit. Well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a huge hit. The Purge films, both huge hits. Wow, I Am Number 4. Wow, man, you look at his filmography as a producer, is just like a bunch of commercial successes.
Yeah.
So this one. Yeah, you're right. It looks like I'm thinking more on the 20 million end. I'm thinking more 15 to 20.
Which is fair, but then again, the competition is really the
There is no competition other than
right? Yeah, the holdovers, and then there's
yeah.
Black and White and the Loft, which are really not in the same.
Not targeting the same audience.
Yeah. They're targeting different people.
The Loft is kind of weird. Do you think people are looking to watch an erotic thriller in January?
Only on home video when they can watch at home with the curtains drawn.
Yeah.
This one.
Plus, with erotic thrillers, it's usually the woman that sells the film. This one is like, here's a bunch of good-looking guys.
Right. I'm going low.
Yeah.
2 to 5. I mean, and 5 is the high point. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. Because, I mean, with erotic thrillers, because most of I'm thinking the audience that goes to erotic thrillers tends to be guys.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, when they see a trailer for an erotic thriller, they would rather see a woman rather than three other guys.
Right. And also, like I say, erotic thrillers do better on cable.
Yeah, where
people watch in the comfort of their own home when no one can see you that you're watching it.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you there. What about Black and White or Black or White?
Oh, Black or White.
The trailer is kind of moving and touching, but it's a custody battle.
It is, but I'm putting it 10 to 15. It seems like it has wide appeal, but then again, it's one of those movies where it doesn't seem that good. I mean, you agree with what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Could be a hot warmer. The only thing is, if it was a hot warmer, why didn't they release it in January? I mean, in December.
Yeah. It also feels kind of fake. Like they're trying to pull your strings.
Yeah.
And the only person you probably know is Kevin Costner and Octavia Spencer.
Yeah.
Right, and a couple other people.
Well, Anthony Mackie from Iron Man.
Yeah, but no one wants to watch Anthony Mackie outside of Iron Man, right? So it's really just Kevin Costner.
Oh, he's a producer too.
Yeah. So I think 10 to 15.
I think if it does 10 to 15, it's considered a pretty decent sized hit. In only 1,500 theaters, that's pretty good. That's a solid number.
Although I'm not surprised if it did less than that.
I'll put it at the lower end. How's that? 10.
10. Okay. So let's go back to the Loft. All right.
Okay.
It's really the choice between the Loft and The Boy Next Door.
Yeah, and of course, if you're a guy, you would rather watch Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
Rather than than the three other guys, right?
Right. Yeah, and then check out the Loft later when you get home.
Maybe.
Or maybe. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, because it was made. The Loft was made at a time when people still know who
James Marsden is.
James Marsden, yes, and Carl Urban.
Yeah,
he was in the Lord of the Ring movies.
Yeah.
Right.
And his Judge Dredd movie bombed, even though it was well reviewed.
Right. So these guys cannot carry a movie.
Yeah.
And then who are the female leads? Rhonda Mitra?
Not big names.
Not big name. Best known for some horror movies.
Yeah, they barely feature any of them, so no big names.
Isabel Lucas.
I think with erotic thrillers, you just gotta the first person you cast has to be the woman. Because women don't go out and watch. Well, we'll see with 50 Shades of Grey.
Well, based on a popular novel, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. When it comes out. Okay, so there we have it.
All
right. We will come back next week and see how we do.
All right.
Okay, so for now, take care.
Okay, see you guys next week.